What is going on, everybody? This is going to be a weekly recap for the DOTS bias trading indicator for the week of July 14th to the 18th. So, very simply, I use the DOTS bias indicator as a confluence to help with intraday bias on the NASDAQ futures. So this video is just going to go through a very simple entry model that if you want to use, I suggest you backtest. But I like to demonstrate how uh, the effectiveness of the dots bias indicator using this one simple entry function. It kind of strips out everything else. It doesn't really account for news or what the ES is doing. This is just a very straightforward strategy that I hope shows how just using this alone can be, again, do your back testing, can be a positive expectancy system. So let's just get straight into it. So the rules are when the dots are all green, you look long. When the dots are all red, you look short. And when they are mixed, you do nothing. So this video is going to be using the one dot entry function. So all that is very simply when there is a column of all green dots that occurs after market open at 9:30 in the windows of 9:30 to 11:30 or 1:30 to 4 p.m. I don't trade lunch, or this system does not trade lunch. And then simply stopping when you are at 1R or minus 2R. And one dot entry function, you either look to trade towards some kind of liquidity as a target, or you can use the 1 minute ATR as a one-to-one risk reward. So let's just get right into it. Today, or this day, is Monday, July 14th, which you can see, the bottom of the screen on the x-axis. So the market opens at 9:30. You can see the dots are mixed. The dots are mixed. When the dots are mixed, you do nothing. This blue line is VWAP. Trade through the VWAP, back through the VWAP. Some ICT nerds will say this is a balanced price range right here. You can see it's respected. All that's good and great. So until you get to where the vertical line is, it should be one over. The close of the 1 minute candle, that corresponds with all green dots. So very simply, buying the close of this candle, the ATR at the time was 18. 18 and 18 points lines up with this previous high you can use as a target. So first trade was a winner. So, and that's it. Stop at 1R. And then you can see that trade worked. Dots get mixed. Then right here, dots fire all green. And then once again, I think the ATR was about 21 points. So risk 21 to make 21. And that's good and great. So Monday was a winner, 1R. So the next day, Tuesday the 15th, you can see pre-market. So right here, the dots open at 9:30. You can see we get a sweep of this little swing point. Dots are mixed. And then at 9:36, this green candle lines up with the close of all red dots. You sell the close. ATR, I think, was about 25 points or so, but using this low as a target, 28 points, that worked. 20 points worked. Trading to the VWAP, 40 points, that worked. So day two was a 1R winner. And then you can see dots remain red, so at minimum you're not trying to long this, even though this long worked, but ideally you get some of this move and we're done for the day. And then you can see dots reset, dots get bearish again, and we had to move lower. So Monday, Tuesday, both winning days. 100% so far. So moving on to Wednesday. So 9:30, the market opens. Dots are mixed. Dots are mixed. Dots are mixed. Price is trading lower. The VWAP is respected. So usually if I'm trading on discretion with the dots and the dots turn red and you can see these wicks were holding the VWAP, on my discretion I would be less inclined to take a dots short on red dots, especially seeing this VWAP hold. But you can see right here at 9:41, price closed below the VWAP. This closed at the VWAP, and then you can see the candle that corresponds with all red dots. This is the one dot entry function. It closes below the VWAP. ATR was about 25 points. So you can see this little move higher, trap some buyers, and then the sell-off continued with the red bearish bias. So Wednesday was another one and done. And that's pretty straightforward. I think the rest of the day got kind of crappy. If this was the first setup of the day, this would have been a loser. And then this would have been a winner. So, but again, trade to 1R, and then go and touch grass. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, all plus 1R. Let us go to Thursday. Thursday, the market opens. The market opens right here. Mixed dots, mixed dots. I don't have this marked, but let me see what this market replay. Let me see what the ATR was. So this is pretty illustrative too. So the VWAP is holding, dots are mixed. And right here we get a close below the VWAP. ATR was 15 points. Let me get my little short position. 17. And also a general rule is if price trades 85 to 90% of the way to target, I'll just move the stop to break even. That way you don't take a full stop on something that comes so close to your target. And this trade worked out. So you're selling the close of the 1 minute candle. Could have been some slippage, a little volume imbalance right here. 15, price went up 2 points. So that would have worked out as well. So Thursday, one and done. Forgot something. I don't know what that is. Thursday, one and done. See dots get mixed and then dots turn green. Buy side right here. I mean, this is out of the scope of what I was talking about, but and then price hits right there. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, all one and done winners. And then we will go to Friday. So market opens at 9:30. You can see the dots are mixed. The dots are mixed. Closing below VWAP, closing above VWAP. The dots are mixed. The dots are mixed. When the dots are mixed, do nothing. And then we get to 10:14 a.m. Dots are mixed. Do nothing. You get the first column of all red dots. ATR is about 19 points. About 19 points, close enough for government work. Close enough for government work. So the one dot entry function, you're selling the close of all red dots, and the target gets hit. So Friday, another one and done. Another one and done winner. pretty straightforward week. Not all weeks are like this. The key to any strategy, the key to the dot strategy is when you incur a loss. It's not an if, it's a when, because you will incur losses. It's how you manage it. But this week, 5 trades, 5 winners, 100% win rate if this is the strategy you used. Again, do your back testing. Join the Discord, 7-day free trial, link in the bio for the dots if you want to test drive them, if you want to give it a whirl. Feel free to ask any questions. DM me on Twitter. Again, join the Discord, ask questions. We have a good group. We want to see each other succeed, and hope to see you in the room.